So what's going on, everybody up on here thugging? I ain't been on here in a while, talking. Had to, get my head together. Now, I got a biopic story coming. It's a trilogy, and it's gonna break down, all the five Davids, including myself, and it's a lot of work that's going into this big ass production. Now I dropped the damn album. Now the full album is not out; just the single came out. Zoe 101, and I'm doing a reboot series with the actual girl that plays Zoe, Jamie Lee Spears, and actually I got the full cast to be a part of it. Just I did it on their terms because a lot of them don't want to be a part of. But they're on my, set, so it's not like they're on Nickelodeon set, so everything will be run a lot differently and a lot smoother. Anyway, my love life and career is in a parallel universe. So let's get into it. Now we're gonna start it off with my man, Lord Jamal and Vlad TV. They do like interviews on my website, and the interviews when they talking about me, it's only being released on my website, like nowhere else. So Vlad TV, with Vlad, he was like, Lord Jamal, so we back here again. What is that like? What is that like a seventh week now? He's like, I don't know. It's a lot. We've been talking a lot. So he like, so your man getting his own biopic story. He getting a trilogy. He's like, yeah, what the hell is that? Ain't that like it's like more than one like the new edition story? He like, yeah, so what you think about that? He's like, I'm excited for that shit. Like, come on now. Like I've been saying they should have gave that man his own biopic story. I mean, all them fucking damn biopic stories this nigga played them for niggas. He need his own shit. Like that's exactly what I said. I've been said that shit. So he like, so you excited for it? He like, Vlad, I'm fucking excited for that shit. So he like, so what you think about his new single that just came out, Zoe 101? Now he's doing a reboot series with the actual girl that plays Zoe. He doing it with the whole cast. Now I don't know what the fuck a Zoe 101 is. I don't really know what the fuck that is. But I like the fucking song though. The song made me look up the show and made me see what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? He like, so did you see it? Did you look it up? He's like, it's on Netflix. Yeah, I seen the shit. So he's like, and I wasn't impressed. So he's like, so you wasn't impressed? He's like, I wasn't impressed. I mean, I'm you know me, Vlad. You know me. It takes a lot to impress me. So it's like I wasn't really fucking impressed. A fucking pretty ass white girl acting like she's saving the fucking day. I wasn't fucking impressed. So he like, so you wasn't impressed? Like I just said I wasn't impressed. He's like, I just said I wasn't impressed, Vlad. I wasn't. I honestly, I really don't know what David's seeing that shit. So he like, so you don't think he should come back? You don't think he should bring it out? He's like, I think he should bring it out because anything with David name attached to it, that he gonna fucking kill that shit. Like let's just be real now. Did you like the single? So he like, I mean, yeah, I liked it, but David ain't really my cup of tea. He like, yo, why the fuck do you always be hating on David? So he like, I ain't hating on David. He do make good quality music, but he just not my favorite artist. So he's like, you know what? You trying to tell me that fucking song he just came out with ain't no fucking banger? You trying to tell me that? You gonna sit in my fucking face and tell me that song not a banger? So he like, I didn't say it wasn't a fucking banger. He was like, so why you sitting up here acting like it ain't a banger? Now, all right, I get it. Not everybody gonna like the same fucking celebrity. I get it. I totally fucking get it. But every fucking time we do this shit, Vlad, you always hating on David. He's like, how am I always hating on David? He's like, because you just fucking do. And then you be bringing up shit like Michael Jackson and all this bullshit. Talk about something. There's nobody that's bigger than Michael Jackson. Well, David ass is. So he like, that's because he got social media. He like, there you go again, Vlad. There you go again. Keep bringing up this social media shit. There you go again. It has nothing to do with social media. If we was talking about a mediocre celebrity, if we was talking about a fucking rapper that really can't fucking rap, or a singer that really can't fucking sing, if we was actually talking about those fucking type of people, then yeah, Vlad, I can actually see you having a fucking point. But David can actually fucking sing. He has no auto-tune on his fucking voice when he sing. The nigga can fucking sing. I don't care what you say, he can fucking sing. He's like, I never said he couldn't sing. He was like, okay, so if he can fucking sing, and he proven it so time and time again with the fucking young Michael Jackson, that fucking shit that's on Netflix. David plays his ass in that fucking series. He plays him. So he's like, yeah, he play him. So he's like, so you trying to tell me you like that show? He's like, no, I actually did like that show. So he's like, okay, so you like that show. So obviously did you know that that's David's real fucking voice? That's his voice. That's not Michael Jackson and all that shit, because when you see certain celebrities that do, singers that can't really fucking sing, you know what they fucking do? They get the fucking real singer music and they lip sing that shit. David, no, that's his ass singing that shit. So he like, okay, all right, so that's David singing it. So what's your point? He like, my point is this. So you said that the only reason why David is so damn big is because of all this social media shit. I don't fucking agree with you. And here's why. David consistently puts out good ass fucking music. Consistently. Not just that. The man is in multiple fucking films. He's in multiple fucking TV shows. That is clearly fucking number one. Now, do you really fucking think, Vlad, if these shows wasn't number one and stay at the top spot for like fucking months, that young Michael Jackson shit is still number one on Netflix and haven't touched? Nobody show can touch that shit. So let me just say this shit to you, Vlad. Let's hypothetically fucking speak. Do you really fucking think that David, all of the shows that he done put out, all of the shit, now you do realize that this is a fucking damn generation that counsel motherfuckers at the drop of a dime if they put out some bullshit. Now you know that. So he's like, yeah, I know that. He's like, so let's just be real. Everything that David had put out consistently throughout the time that he's been out in the game. Now let's just talk about last year. We don't even got to talk about all the other years. Let's just talk about the year that just passed. Let's just talk about that. So he's like, okay, all right, let's just talk about that. So he's like, the young Michael Jackson shit came out last year, right? Right? He like, yeah. He like, so is it still number one? He like, yeah, it is. He like, what about all the other shows that came out right after that? Is it still in the top spot? I'm asking you, Vlad. Because let me tell you something. These fucking damn teenager girls, they know bullshit when they see it. So if David is putting out shit that is obviously topping the fucking damn charts, and I ain't talking about with music, I'm just talking about his fucking damn projects with him just playing other fucking characters. If he was putting out bullshit, do you think his ass would be talked about the way he's talked about? Let's just be real. Now you gonna sit up there and gonna say, oh, the only reason why he big is because of social media. That's a fucking lie. Because I just proved my damn point right there. I just proved it. He like, no, you didn't. He like, yes, the fuck I did, Vlad. I'm really tired of you telling me that I didn't prove my fucking point. Because I did just prove it. Because can you name any fucking film that Michael Jackson played in? And please don't name that fucking Oz movie. Please do not name that weird ass fucking movie with him playing the scarecrow and all that weird shit. Please don't name that shit. I really don't fucking, because if you name that shit again, I swear to God, I'm gonna put my foot up your ass. Vlad, do not fucking name that damn Oz movie. Can you name any other fucking film that Michael Jackson played in? Because the only thing you got is that music shit. In Thriller, he wasn't really fucking acting in that. He wasn't really acting. So everybody be talking about, oh, Thriller. He only had like a few seconds to talk. What fucking acting did he do? He didn't do anything in that. So he like, all right, okay, all right, you got a point there. He like, yeah, I know I do. So he like, all right, okay, so what? Okay, so David is the top, he's the talked about artist in the world. He's like, you know what, Vlad, why are you hating on him so much? Why do you hate his ass so much? He's like, I don't hate him. I just think that he overrated. He's like, you think that he overrated. This is why we had this conversation. This is why you have me and then you have you. He's like, what is that supposed to mean? He's like, you're a fucking hater. Because if he's like, because I don't like David, that makes me a hater. He's like, you don't have to fucking like him. You don't have to like him because real recognize real. And David's a real solid ass motherfucker. And I fuck with David. I don't care what nobody say. Can't nobody make me not fuck with David. Because David is a real ass nigga. He don't hang around them faggot ass fucking damn homosexual other fucking celebrity males. He don't do none of that suspect shit. None of that shit. So all of the fucking people that you like in the industry, they suspect as hell. They on that gay shit. And I can vouch for that shit. And you know that, Vlad. So he like, all right, so, well, even if I like people that's gay, why would that be a problem? He's like, it don't have to be a damn problem. But I ain't gonna like no gay motherfucker. You're not gonna hear me listening to a gay ass motherfucking singer. Because even if the gay singer is talking about, if he even singing and saying, oh, if he's saying a girl in this song, he means a fucking boy. Just because he said girl don't mean he ain't talking about a damn dude. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not gonna listen to a fucking gay person. I'm not listening to a gay motherfucker singing, acting like he's singing to a girl. In reality, he's singing to a fucking dude. I'm not listening to that shit. You can, Vlad, but I'm not listening to that shit. So he like, okay, all right, so we are disagreeing on this whole topic. He like, yes, the fuck we are, Vlad, because the man is still number one man in a fucking wheelchair. How the fuck is he dominating in a wheelchair? He like, okay, but he had projects already done before he got in that wheelchair. He like, yeah, but he gonna be walking again. Ain't like he paralyzed from the waist down. He gonna be walking again. It's just he got his legs broken and shit. But he gonna be walking again. So he like, okay, so what? We wishing him the best. He like, no, you don't have to wish him the best. Because his ass is still out there doing shit. You see what I'm saying? The man is in a fucking wheelchair going to red carpets and the man still getting pussy. Still getting pussy. So tell me how the fuck can you get Miley Cyrus pregnant in a fucking wheelchair? So he like, what are you talking about? He's like, Miley Cyrus ain't pregnant. He like, yes the fuck she is. Where you been at, Vlad? David married her ass. Yeah, that's right, and knocked her little white ass up. So let's just say this. Nobody that you know can get a Miley Cyrus pregnant. When you can get a Miley Cyrus pregnant, then you come talk to me. Then you come holler at me, Vlad. Because David did it all. He got the baddest bitches in the game right now. All the niggas want these girls that David with. The two main bitches that he fuck with. All the niggas want them. They want their asses and they can't get them. So what I'm saying to you, David got some hold on these bitches. Not saying that's a bad thing. Because David a smooth ass nigga. You see what I'm saying? I done seen him do interviews and he's just smooth. And entertaining too, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see a lot of niggas that do interviews, they be trying to play like they so hard. Like they just so damn hard. Oh, I'm just so gangster. I can't really answer your question all the way. You see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do that mean? Like, you ain't that damn gangster where you can't answer a fucking question. You see what I'm saying? Like, these niggas be really pissing me off. Like, you don't gotta act like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, niggas be acting like they too better for a fucking interview. When David do interviews, he don't act like that. He too fucking smooth, but he welcome you in, though. You see what I'm saying? And then when you look at him, you can tell that he done been through some trauma-ass shit. You can see it in his eyes. You see what I'm saying? The man he love his fucking kids. You see, he bring his daughters everywhere with his ass. He got his damn kids with him every fucking way. They some good ass babies. Not one time I seen them babies cry. And those are the babies that he had with Jenna Ortega. Word is, she pregnant again. Now tell me something, Vlad. Tell me this. A man like that, And you just told me that he getting a biopic story. And how the fuck you know that? You know what you're doing? You spying on that man. That's what you're doing. Because if you don't like him, how did you know he getting a biopic story about his ass? I ain't even know that shit. So the fact that you knew that before I did, let me know that you gotta be somewhat of a damn fan. So he like, I said I like that Michael Jackson shit. I said I like the young Michael Jackson shit. He was like, yeah, you said you liked it, but you also said you ain't fuck with him. He's like, I didn't totally say I didn't fuck with him. He's like, yes you did. Yes you did. But it's okay though, cause we gonna progress. Anyway, when you got a man like that done been through a lot of trauma ass shit, all I'm saying to you, Vlad, is you can hear it in his music. You can hear it in his voice. When you listen to that man sing, listen to him. Let it sit your ass the fuck down, sit your white ass down, and listen to his ass. Listen to what he's saying, listen to his voice, listen to how passionate his voice is, and then you can see why all them bitches on his dick. Then you can see and realize why the fuck these girls go crazy over David. Why they make his shit number one every time that he just drop a damn single. He ain't even dropped the full damn album. He ain't even drop it. And the shit is already fucking up the charts. He ain't even drop it. So he like, look at you. Look at you, Vlad. Look at you. You really don't know what the fuck to say. You know why? Because you know I'm right. Deep down, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Ain't nobody every song that this nigga done made, I don't know who the fuck be making that nigga beats. I don't know who making them beats, but them bitches be fire. Them bitches be fire. And then his ass singing and killing that shit. I can see why them bitches go crazy over David. And it's not like David ugly. David ain't an ugly motherfucker. He handsome. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, he got all that, and then a man a fucking trillionaire. I mean, God. All right, Vlad, you don't gotta fuck with David. You don't gotta fuck with him, because I fuck with him. You see what I'm saying? I fuck with him. You see what I'm saying? So, if you don't fuck with him, that's cool. That's cause and not everybody gonna like David. And you're right. Not everybody gonna like him. But you name one thing that you don't like about David. Tell me why you don't like him, because you never really gave me a reason why you don't like him. Because I can tell you why I don't like certain damn rappers and singers. Because they fake as shit, they lie in their fucking songs, they always talk about they do this and do that, then they go to jail and start snitching. So yeah, I can name 100 damn reasons why I don't like a lot of these new school rappers. I can name 100. I can name 1,000,000. And these damn girl rappers. And I talk about my pussy so good, they do this and do that. And then in reality, they get bitched and fucking, and they get bitched up or get played or pimped out by some other damn rapper. You see what I'm saying? Talking all this shit in your songs about how you pimp a nigga and then you getting pimped out your damn self. So it's like, I don't really be trusting what these motherfuckers be saying no more. Because they be capping at every fucking thing they be saying. So, can you name me one damn reason why you don't like David? Tell me why. I'm listening. The floor is yours, Vlad. We right here, we sitting right here face to face. Because you really don't know what the fuck that man done been through. You really don't know. You really don't fucking know. So he like, all right, I never say, like, let me just say this shit to you, Vlad. The man was doing an interview. He's talking about his mother. And he didn't disrespect his mom. He was very respectful to his mother. But he said, what he said really hit home to me. He said his mother never really protected him. You know, always put him in dangerous situations and shit like that, where he always had to fight his damn way out. You see what I'm saying? And he was like, well, what kind of mother would put their son in danger? You see what I'm saying? And I felt that when he said that shit. Because my mother did the same shit. The same shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I can see why the fuck he always got his kids with him. You see what I'm saying? I can see why he's very nurturing to his daughters. That man love his damn babies. You see what I'm saying? He a good ass fucking father. He proud to be a damn daddy. So what I'm saying to you, Vlad, you got a lot of these rappers out here That they act like they proud to be a father, but they only doing it for shock value. They only doing it so they can get the cameras on them and they can say, well, look, I'm being a daddy. Look at me. I got my kid with me. But in reality, they only doing it for publicity, just to get fucking people to buy their fucking music or to stream their songs like, oh, he's a great daddy. But in reality, he ain't doing shit for the damn kid. He not paying for child support. He not helping the mother. He only doing it to make himself look good. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, Vlad? So he's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. He's like, David ain't doing that shit. All the bitches that got interviewed about David ain't say nothing bad about David. Nothing. And David ain't paid them to say good shit about him. You can tell that everything they were saying in them interviews, they meant that shit. They meant it. The man is silent. Ain't no... If you got a whole bunch of celebrity bitches that basically say the same thing, which is good shit, that means your resume looking amazing. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you, Vlad, we up in here talking, and you telling me you don't like David, but you ain't give me a reason why you ain't like him. You still ain't give me a reason. She's like, well, man, I don't think I really need to give you a reason because you didn't already prove your point. You're like, yeah, I did. I did, Vlad. I did. But see, I like the challenge. I like that you challenge me. I like that, Vlad. I like that. Because when you do more research on David, you can see that man lived a fucked up life. You see what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. I mean, he had brothers. Now, he got on his brothers, but he didn't really do anything. He didn't say anything really bad about his family. He just spoke the truth of his experience, of what he'd been through, and how they made him feel and how it affected him. You see what I'm saying? And how he don't want to treat, because when you see David interact with people, he don't treat them like shit. You ever seen David interact with somebody or talk to them? He like really, really sincere about shit. Oh, let's talk. We don't let me get on the damn shit of him helping them sick kids. Yeah, they didn't even have that shit on camera, because that's how silent David is. David cares about people. These motherfuckers don't. Everything you see is just to get them to sell more records. That's just it. That's plain and simple. Ain't nothing silent about these other damn celebrities. Ain't nothing real about them. Ain't nothing genuine about them. I'm just being real with you. Only thing they got going for them is a whole bunch of Instagram followers or a whole bunch of TikTok followers. That's it. That's it. But I'm not impressed by that shit. I'm not impressed because you got 100 million damn followers on Instagram or fucking TikTok. I'm not impressed by that. You got a whole bunch of damn nobodies that's looking at you. So, what the fuck? I don't care. David don't got that shit, and he still get mauled by bitches. Filling up the street with bitches. Can any of your favorite celebrities do that? They can't, and they won't, because they not like David, and they never will be. See, you gotta understand, Vlad. People say there can never be another Michael Jackson. Well, it is. David is the new Michael Jackson. And you hear his fans saying that shit. I honestly think David can sing better than his ass. I'm not even lying to you. You might think I'm reaching, but I'm not. So he's like, you is reaching. He's like, I'm not reaching. David sounds better than his ass. So he's like, the king of pop. You're like, see, there you go with this shit. The king of pop. Okay, he ain't the king of pop no damn more. He fucking dead. I'm just being real and I'm speaking realistic. He ain't the king of pop no more. David is the new Michael Jackson. He just is. David's the new Michael Jackson. He the new Elvis Presley of our time. He just is. Let's just be real. He just is. Now you can argue with me all you want to, but all the facts is there. All the facts is there. And you know it. So he like, All right. All right. Okay, whatever. I get it. You really think that David's better than Michael Jackson? He was like, yeah, I do. So he's like, okay, all right, all right. Well, I mean, we could play a song right now, Michael Jackson. You play a song of David. He's like, okay, fuck it, fine. So he played a song of Michael Jackson, and then Lord Jamal played the song of me. So he's like, now you tell me, cause now, Vlad, all that auto tune that was on his voice, and it was definitely auto tune on his voice. All that auto tune on his voice. Then you listen to David shit. You tell me that David ain't fucked that up. You tell me that he didn't. Now let's just be real. Let's be logical. So he like, all right, I ain't gonna lie, that shit was kind of hard. He was like, yeah, like I said, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? But you don't gotta fuck with David though, because you said you don't fuck with him. So it's cool. So he's like, I not see, you keep saying that I did. I never said I didn't fuck with him. He's like, yes, you did. You just said that shit 15 minutes ago. Now you try to backtrack. See, you know what? I can never trust what you say, Vlad. Because now you're saying that you fuck with him. He's like, I said that I liked this. I said I liked the Young Michael Jackson series. I said I liked it. He's like, yeah, you said you fucking liked it, but you also said you didn't like David. He's like, I never said I didn't like David. I don't know him to not like David. So he's like, okay, so yeah, you're right. You proved my point. So I ain't gonna lie, that interview was funny as shit. I'm not gonna lie. When them two get together, I don't know, it's just something about them two. Them niggas funny as shit. So I remember I'm like, I'm sitting in my car and I'm just, thinking. Sometimes I sit in my car and I just sitting there for like hours. I sit in my car for hours just thinking about a lot of shit, about my past and stuff like that. Flashbacks be, coming in my head and shit like that. I don't know. I just be thinking about so much shit. So, I just sit in my car and I'm sitting there thinking and stuff like that. And, my phone ring, you know what I'm saying? And Bella Thorne, she calls me up. We got a movie coming out this summer called I'm in Love with a porno star. And the funny thing is, people would normally think that Bella Thorne would be the porno star because she's like, she got that sex appeal and she can definitely pull it off. But I'm actually the porno star. She's actually just like the regular girl that's like, she's my co-star. She's the leading girl, but she's not the porn star. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely gonna fuck y'all heads up because what y'all thought, y'all like, oh damn, she not the porn star? We thought it was, you know what I'm saying? So no, Bella Thorne is not the porn star. I am. So anyway, Bella Thorne calls me up. She's like, hey, hi baby. I'm like, hey, she's like, y'all, you and Jenna Ortega got some pretty ass babies. I'm like, yeah, that's what they say. She's like, yeah, they definitely look like you. They light as shit. So they got her complexion, but they look like you. I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, that's a good ass combination. So I'm like, what you doing though? What's up? So it's like, well, I wanted to see you. Everybody been seeing since the red carpet that we might be dating. I'm like, oh, okay. So what you tell him? She's like, I ain't telling him anything. So she's like, but I do want to talk to you. So if you can like come over to my place. I'm like, yeah, I come over there. She's like, well, whenever you get a chance, just don't forget about me. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna forget about you, Bella. She's like, all right, well, I'll get everything ready. I'm like, get what ready? She's like, nothing. Just make sure you come, okay? And text me before you come. So I'm like, yeah, I can do that. She's like, all right. So I get on the phone with Bella Thorne. I don't know what this girl is really up to. I don't know what she's up to. But a lot of people, like my fans, they have been saying that, okay, because they caught her like holding my hand and then they also caught her like sitting on my lap and stuff like that. So, they thinking like, okay, David's fucking Bella Thorne. Not just in the movie, but he gotta be fucking this girl in real life. Truth be told, I didn't fuck her. Well, you can say I fucked her because I fucked her in the movie, but yeah, I guess so. But anyway, I'm in the car, like, still trying to think, but then my phone kept going off. So my phone kept going off. It just kept ringing. It wouldn't stop fucking ringing. So it just kept ringing. And I remember Zendaya was like, David. I'm like, who is this? She's like, Zendaya. I'm like, oh, hey, girl. She's like, yeah, I want to talk to you, but not over the phone, though. I want to ask you a question. And I really want to see if you're going to lie to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, it's about one of my nieces. I really want to see if you're going to look me in my damn face and lie to me because I already know the damn truth. I'm like, what are you talking about now? What are you accusing me of? She's like, it's not accusing when you actually fucking did it. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what you're talking about. So she's like, well, when you come, then you will know. I'm not saying it over the phone. So I'm like, all right. So I get on the phone with her now. I know what she talking about. I know what she talking about. So I'm like, oh, now I gotta deal with her shit. It's always something with Zendaya, ain't it? But Zendaya's not an angel. She's not no perfect angel. She didn't did her shit. So she didn't did her fair share of shit. So my wife Jenna Ortega got, her newest movie coming out, Scream 5. And I got some movies coming out too. I got this movie coming out with Bella Thorne and some other shit. And this is a lot of shit going on. So I'm actually at the set of Zoe 101. So I'm at the set of Zoe 101, and we're getting it's getting filmed on my actual movie production company. So we're not like at Nickelodeon. So I remember Jamie Lee Spears was like, "Hey, David, you're such a cutie pie." I'm like, okay, it's like, can I talk to you in my trailer? I really gotta get some things off my chest. I'm like, yeah, yeah, cool. So we go on her trailer. She's like, you need help? She's like, you need help with your wheelchair? I'm like, no, I got it. So I get in there. She's like, David, did anybody ever tell you that you are like very inspiring? I'm like, nah, I mean, I get it from my fans. My wife, Jenna Ortega, will tell me that all the time. She's like, I thought you was married to Miley Cyrus. I'm like, yeah, I am married to Miley Cyrus. So she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it true that she's pregnant? I'm like, yeah, Miley's pregnant. So she's like, and you're the father. I'm like, yeah. So like, so you was fucking her while you was in a wheelchair? I'm like, well, yeah, basically, yeah. She's like, okay, wow, okay. Guess you gotta have it, huh? I'm like, yeah, Jamie, what's up? She's like, so the new single just came out, Zoe 101, off of your newest album. The whole thing is definitely not out, young Michael Jackson. You definitely sound like a young Michael Jackson. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You do. I'm like, I do. She's like, yes, you do. I'm like, because that's what I was going for. She's like, you don't have to go for that. You really got a really nice voice. So I'm like, okay, thank you. She's like, even though you were singing about Zoe, I kind of felt like you was, singing to me. Because, I play Zoe. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you play Zoe. So she's like, I really like that song. I'm like, okay, you like the song. Yeah, good. So you about to get into hair and makeup? She's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm getting into hair and makeup. So I'm like, so how's your husband and stuff? She's like, oh, he's great. I'm like, he is. She's like, yeah, he's great. So so David, I was wondering, um, when could we hang out? Because I mean, I know that you're kind of like, busy and everything like that. And I know you be having a lot of things to do. So you don't really have to necessarily hang out with me, if you don't want to. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? She's like, I mean, I would like to hang out with you, like after we're done, kind of like filming and stuff. I'm like, what about not after we done filming, but I gotta go somewhere after this. She was like, okay. So you said we can hang out today. I'm like, yeah, we can hang out today. Yeah, sure. She's like, you're not gonna like stand me up, are you? So I'm like, no, no, I wouldn't do that. She's like, oh, okay, I'm just making sure. So I remember it now. Y'all know the girl that was saying that she was getting bullied on set. Um, she actually, she said that she would do the show. She said she would do the show, but she doesn't really want to be around like the whole cast and stuff like that because she don't know how they really feel about her. Which is typically that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. So I remember she comes on set and she's actually still pregnant. She's pregnant. She's about to have another kid or whatever like that. But she comes on set and Jamie Lee, Spears, she sees the girl. She sees her and they didn't say anything to each other. Like she walks past her and, that was pretty much what it was. She didn't say anything to the girl and, the girl didn't say anything to Jamie and Jamie went into her trailer and that was just that. Now, as we were filming, everything was going good. Everything was going right. No problems, no hiccups. You know what I'm saying? So after we was done filming, um, I just remember, Jamie was coming to my car, and she was like, "Hey, don't forget about our little date later on." I'm like, "No, no, you're gonna be a good girl, right?" It's like, "Yeah, of course, I'm always a good girl." I'm like, "You ain't gonna be bullying nobody." She's like, "You mean that girl that came on set?" I'm not a bully. Nobody never bullied that girl. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, she going online telling people that Nickelodeon, like the cast from Nickelodeon, like we all bullied her and stuff like that. Nobody bullied that girl. Nobody, mocked that girl or made mockery of her. All that stuff was made up lies. That was all in her fucking head. Like, no, if that was honestly the fucking truth, if that was the truth that we were bullying her, then how come the whole cast ain't saying that shit? I mean, the girl that played Victorious, she was on set today, and you can ask her yourself. I'm like, but there's rumors that Victorious was being a bully to her. She's like, all right, I ain't gonna lie. Victorious was kind of bullying her, but she was the only one that was actually bullying her. You know what I'm saying? She was the only one that was actually making fun of her, and she got fired for that. So she lost her job for that because she was, being very, aggressive to her, but not us. Like, I know I was definitely very nice to her. So for her to make it seem like I was just this monster and I was so mean to her, I just can't believe, I don't even know where all that stuff came from. So I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, like I don't get it. Like, I don't know why she was even saying that stuff. So I'm like, oh, all right. So you think she was just making it up? She was like, I mean, she was making it up about me and the rest of the cast because the rest of the cast, we wasn't doing shit to her. But when she was talking about the girl that played Victorious, yeah, I mean, she was really bullying her. That part was fucking true. But she just started making it seem like we all was bullying her and we all was making fun of her and we all was pushing her and doing all this stuff to her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, so it's like, I really don't have nothing to say to that girl because I don't know where all that fucking anger came from, but I really have nothing to say to her because I didn't do anything for her to say that I was this mean girl to her. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, and I got kids of my own, so I'm gonna keep it classy, and I'm just not gonna say anything to her. So I'm gonna stay out of her way, and I'm gonna give her space. But yeah, I'm not going to say anything to her. I have nothing to say. We are all grown ups now. We all grown ups. None of us are little kids no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can all deal with this shit accordingly, like grown ups. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to say anything to her. We doing our job. That's what we getting paid for, and we stay out of her way. We signed the contract where we will not be saying anything or bullying that girl. And if we, bully her, then yeah, you can sue us and actually take us to court. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that we're going against the contract that we signed, under your production. So ain't nobody going to talk or bully that girl. Nobody's saying nothing to that girl. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you later on, Jamie. She's like, all right, bye. So I'm like, all right. So Jamie Lee Spears, she likes me. It's obvious that Jamie Lee Spears likes me. You know what I'm saying? And I do like Jamie Lee Spears because I really think she's still pretty. I don't think she's an ugly girl because she's like 33 now. But I don't think she's ugly. I think she's still like, I think she's really pretty. You know what I'm saying? I think so. But a lot of other people don't think that she's still pretty. They think, I mean, she did look really, really good back then. Like when she was a teenager, she was bad as hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you. She's bad as hell. So now I get in my car and I'm like on my way to go see Bella Thorne and stuff. And I remember as I'm on my way to see Bella Thorne, my phone rings and guess who it was? I call her. See, I like nicknames, so I call her. Well, I call her. What do I call that girl? Oh, I call her Miss Wynn. I call her Miss Wynn because that's like her last name. You know what I'm saying? So I call her Miss Wynn. but she the girl that played on. She's like the black girl that played on the Bernie Mac show. So I call her Miss Win. So she calls me, and she is in the second. You know, she's in a sequel of I'm in Love with a Porn Star. She's like my other leading girl. Because it would be kind of cheesy to keep. Now, Bella Thorne is in the second one too, but she's like my wife in there. So she's like, you'll see. I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. So she calls me up and I'm like, hey, Bernie Mac girl. She's like, hey. I'm like, so you ready to film this movie with me? She's like, yeah, I mean, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm always ready. So she's like, okay, well, we'll see. So I'm like, yeah, we will see. So, I mean, so how's the body? You taking care of the body? She's like, I mean, I think I am. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been going to the gym, working out. I'm like, you have? She's like, yeah, I have been toning it up. I'm like, you have been toning it up, huh? She's like, yeah, why you want to take it for a test drive? I'm like, what you mean by that? She's like, I mean, it can only mean one thing. So I'm like, you mean like beat it up? She's like, I mean, you gonna be fucking it in the movie. So I'm like, I mean, yeah, true. She's like, it's best if we start, you know, I mean, because this is like a movie where it's a lot of sex scenes in it. Am I right? Because the movie with Bella Thorne in it, I mean, you was doing a lot of sex scenes with her, right? I'm like, yeah, I was. She was like, okay, so if you were doing that, then I think that for me, because I'd never done a whole bunch of sex scenes before, I think for me, we should just go and just start doing it, warming up to when we are on camera and actually filming a movie. That way I won't be so nervous and stiff. I'm like, so you saying you want me to beat it up? It's like, well, I mean, do you want to? I'm like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know what your body look like. I mean, I haven't, I don't know what you look like. It's like, oh, I mean, I can send you a few photos. I mean, if that's okay with you, I can send you a few photos. I'm like, yeah. So she sends me some photos of what she looked like and her body and stuff. And I'm like, okay, she's a chocolate girl. Yes, she is. And she's definitely thick as hell. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I was on my way to see Bella Thorne, but I guess I can see Bella Thorne after I'm done with the girl, Miss Wynn. So I go see Miss Wynn, and she, opens the door for me. She was like in this, nice little hotel room. And I'm like, look, I got a nickname for you. She's like, you got a nickname for me? I'm like, yeah, I got a nickname for you. She's like, well, what is my nickname? So I'm like, I'm gonna call you Miss Wynn. She's like, oh, because of my last name? I'm like, yeah. So it's like, okay. I mean, I would have thought you would have been. I would have thought that you would have named me like Bernie Mac, girl or something like that because you kept calling me that. But okay, I like that name better. Well, I like both of the names better. I'm like, okay. It's like, you can call me that, or you can call me Miss Wynn. You can call me whatever you want. I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, so I'm assuming that you got the pictures. I'm like, yeah, I got the pictures. She's like, all right, now, David, I mean, are you going to use a condom? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, when we fucking, or, I mean, I'm just asking. I'm very curious to know if you are going to strap up when we're fucking. You don't have to, you don't have to. I'm just asking a question. I don't want you to get offended, because I'm not saying you're dirty, because you're not dirty. I'm just asking a question. So she's like, you do know they got girl condoms now. I'm like, what do you mean they got girl condoms? She's like, they got girl condoms where a girl can stick the condom thing, like, for girls. It's actually for girls where like you can still feel all of the stuff you feel when you're in her vagina, but when you bust, you're gonna be like busting inside of the condom, and basically you won't be getting her pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying. It's like, you understand? I'm like, yeah, I get it. She's like, yeah. So I remember, I'm just like, I'm sitting there thinking, in my mind, I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking about all this shit. And I just remember, I'm like, all right. I need to talk to, I'm like, I need to talk to you. So she's like, okay, well, you already in my room, so you can talk to me. Like, what's up? So I'm like, look, I'm not using a condom. And I mean, I have my reasons for not using a condom. She's like, if you don't mind me asking, like, what is your reasons? Why don't you like using one? So I'm like, because, I used to use one, back in the day when I wasn't famous. I used to strap up and stuff, but I stopped using them because I really don't like the way it feels on my dick, and I just don't like that I can't feel like all of everything when I'm in the pussy. She's like, oh, okay, like you want to feel everything. I'm like, yeah, it's like, okay, I mean, that's understandable. So I'm like, yeah, I want to feel everything. I want to feel all the walls, the pussy, everything. He's like, David, you don't have to explain nothing to me. I totally get it. So I'm like, you just like, yeah. So, we start kissing. She was kind of already like half naked. So she had her panties on and she had a robe on, but she didn't have no bra. And I told her to take the robe off, and she did. And she's like, "You want me to take my panties off?" I'm like, "No, I want you to definitely leave your panties on." She's like, "I read in an article like that you like to have sex with girls with their underwears on, so that is true." I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, okay. So she's like, "All right." So we, kiss and I'm grabbing her, ass, and she gets on top of me. Long story short, we did end up fucking, which was actually incredible, by the way. I didn't think, I mean, I kind of knew that I was going to enjoy it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't going to enjoy it. So I kind of knew that I was going to enjoy it, which I definitely did very thoroughly. So I was beating it up. I was turning it up. We had sex a lot of times. Like, yeah, we cut up a lot. I'm not even going to lie to you. So I'm like, look, I gotta ask you a question. Now I ain't gonna lie, the pussy is definitely on point. Like it's really hitting. It's like, you like it? I'm like, yeah. It's like, okay, good. I'm glad you like it. So I'm like, I got a question for you though. It's like, okay, well, what is the question? I'm like, the question is, um, you probably gonna hate me. It's like, what? Why would I hate you? I'm like, I want you all to myself. Like, I don't want you doing other movies with other people. It's like, well, I'm not. I'm like, I don't want you doing sex scenes with nobody else but me. It's like, okay, I can do that. I'm like, do you got an OnlyFans account? It's like, I do got an OnlyFans account. I'm like, are you getting fucked on there? It's like, no. I mean, I'm showing my body and stuff on there, but I'm not like, no. I'm like, okay. So like, what type of girl you think I am? Like, you don't have to have an OnlyFans account to get fucked on there or suck dick. Like, not all girls are doing that. Like, I show my body. Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. But yeah, I show my body. But I'm not like sucking dick on there or getting fucked. It's not like out of this world crazy. I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm just showing my body because I'm happy with my body. I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, that's it. But if you don't want me to have it, I won't post like that on there. I mean, I'll still have it, but I won't post as much as I used to. If I mean, are you even asking for me to be your girlfriend? I'm like, well, I was asking you. It's like, okay. I mean, well, ask me because you still haven't asked me. So I'm like, will you be my girlfriend, Miss Will? I'm like, will you be my girlfriend, Miss Win? She was like, are you saying win or win? I'm like, I'm saying win, like you winning something. It's like, oh, I thought you were saying win. I'm like, it sounds like that, don't it? It's like, yeah, it does. Yeah, yes, I will be your girlfriend. But I got to be honest with you, I am kind of talking to somebody. I'm like, you are. It's like, yeah, I am. But I mean, you're David Sims, and I'm definitely not going to turn down an opportunity to be your girlfriend. And yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. I'm like, you will say, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So we did end up having sex again. She did a lot of things. She gave me head. I didn't ask her to give me head, but she gave it to me anyway. And she was like, you really don't have to eat me out. Like, you don't have to do that. So, I ended up eating her out anyway. And then, we had lots more sex. It was a lot of sex. And before you know it, it was kind of like dark time. Or it was going on dark time. It's like, you've been here for a long time. I'm like, yeah, kind of noticed that. She's like, um, I'm sorry if I held you up. I'm like, no, I mean, I like your company. She's like, I like your company too. I kind of don't want you to leave. I'm like, I know, baby, I don't want to leave, but I'm thinking about you. She's like, I'm thinking about you too. So yeah, we cut up a lot, and we was really attracted to each other. I'm not gonna lie, but I did have to leave. But I did go back to her. I'm not gonna lie. I went back to that girl. I went back to her. So she called me up when I'm in my car and it's like, hey, it's me, Miss Wynn. I'm like, oh, hey, baby. It's like, I was just calling because I'm already thinking about you. I'm like, you are? You thinking about me piping that ass down? She's like, you are so nasty. You talk so nasty. I'm like, you don't like the way I talk nasty to you? She's like, I do like the way you talk to me. So I'm like, oh, so what, you gonna let your other boyfriend have sex with me? I'm like, you gonna let your other boyfriend have sex with you? She's like, my other boyfriend? I'm like, yeah, the one you dating. She's like, he's not my boyfriend. I mean, we talking and stuff, but he ain't my boyfriend. So I'm like, oh, he not your boyfriend? It's like, no, we didn't make it official. Like, he is definitely not my boyfriend. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, but we are like a thing. Yeah, I'm your girlfriend, but since I was talking to him first before we became like a thing, me and you, it kind of seems like I'm cheating on him with you. So I can stop talking to him. I'm like, call him up while I'm on the phone and tell him that you don't want to talk to him no more. It's like, you want me to do it right now? I'm like, yeah, you my bitch, right? It's like, I don't like that word bitch, but yeah, I'm your bitch. Yeah, okay, all right, I'll do it now. So she called them up and he answered the phone. He like, hey girl, so you doing this movie with David? I got a lot of damn things to say about that. I don't want you doing that shit. It's like I already signed the contract. So he was like, yeah, but he's gonna be sticking his damn dick in you and y'all gonna be having sex like multiple times. So she's like, okay. So she like he's like, I want you to get a stunt double. So she's like, look, I don't want to put you through that pain because I'm going through with doing the sex scenes and I'm actually going through with doing this movie. And I don't want to put you through that type of pain. So he's like, so what are you actually saying? She's like, I'm actually saying that, look, I got to break up with you. I can't, like, we was never really official anyway. We was never really official. He was like, well, what do you mean we was never really official? I thought we fucking was. I thought we was. So what you mean? Like, I don't get it. You telling me that we wasn't official, but I thought that we already was. Damn. So she was like, well, in my mind, we wasn't really official. Yeah, we went out on a lot of dates. We never really had sex or anything like that. So he's like, yeah, but I ate that pussy. She's like, okay, so what? He's like, and you sucked my dick. So she's like, okay, you know what? Listen to what I'm saying to you. Cause you saying all this stuff, you going left with this conversation. Yeah, we did that. We had oral sex. We did oral sex on each other. You're absolutely right. But I'm not feeling you anymore, and I'm breaking up with you. So just accept that shit and deal with it. And oh, when you call me, you probably gonna be blocked. Like I'm probably gonna block you. So just remember that I'm gonna do that. And that goes for social media too, and my OnlyFans account. So he's like, "Oh, you blocking me on there too? For what?" So she's like, "Because you just like I'm just doing it, okay?" So she hung up the phone or whatever, and she was like, all right, so I just did that. I'm like, you ain't talking to nobody else, are you? She's like, no. I'm like, you promise? Like, no, I'm not talking to anybody else, David. I'm like, you better not, because that pussy, real good. She's like, oh, you like it? I'm like, yeah. It's like, you could have fooled me because you left. So I'm like, 'cause I gotta take care of something. It's like, well, when you done taking care of whatever you taking care of, can you come back? So I'm like, yeah. So she sent me more pictures. She sent me more like pictures and videos of her twerking and stuff like that. I mean, I was, I was hooked. I'm not gonna lie, I was very hooked on this girl, and she's like a really chocolate girl. But to me, I don't think she's an ugly girl. Like I think she is very pretty to me. So I remember, I go see Bella Thorne and Bella Thorne pretty much opens the door. She's like, David, what the hell took you so damn long? I'm like, what you mean? She's like, what the hell you mean what I mean? I mean, like, what took your ass so damn long? So I'm like, oh, I was taking care of business and stuff. She's like, well, you could have called me and told me. I'm like, I'm sorry. It's like I had everything set up, and now everything's ruined. I'm like, what you mean? You told me to tell you when I was coming. You never gave me a time. She's like, oh, you're right. I ain't never give you a time. I'm like, you never actually gave me a time to come. She's like, you're right. You're right. But I also told you to text me when you was coming. I'm like, what y'all also did. I did everything you said, though. You never gave me a time to come. She's like, all right, you're right. I didn't. So she was like, all right, I'm lying. Everything's not ruined. So I'm like, what is all this? She's like, all right, look, David, I'm gonna be real. I'm not doing this because the movie coming out this summer. I'm not doing that, but I do really like you. I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah. I mean, I thought you liked me too. I'm like, I do like you. I want to definitely beat it up without the cameras on. She's like, and I'm giving you an opportunity to. I'm like, you was like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. But what about, your husband? I know you married and stuff. I don't want to mess that up. It's like, so you really concerned about my marriage? I'm like, I mean, is everything going good? It's like, I mean, it's going okay. I mean, it's not the best marriage in the world. It's a marriage, but it's okay. I'm like, it's good. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's great. So I'm like, okay. So we start kissing. Long story short, I tore that ass up because me and Bella Thorne already knew each other. You know what I'm saying? We filming another movie together, the sequel to I'm in Love with a Porno Star. So, we're gonna be working together a lot. So yeah, I already knew Bella Thorne, so it wasn't like she had to tell me, because we did like each other. It was just, she was married and, she had a husband and all this stuff, and I didn't want to complicate that for her, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of backed away. So after me and Bella Thorne like cut up and had sex like 2 or 3 times, I remember she was like, David, can I tell you something? I'm like, what? She was like, I was really mad at you after we was done filming the movie because you really like disappointed me. I'm like, how I disappoint you? She's like, because I honestly thought you was gonna start dating me after we was done filming because that's what you normally do. I'm like, that's what I normally do. She's like, well, yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry that you know I didn't do that. I mean, so I've been doing a lot of things differently now. She's like, yeah, I can tell you definitely been doing some different ass shit. But I mean, like, I am pissed off at you. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am very mad at you. But I'm like, but you ain't seem like you was mad at the red carpet. She's like, okay, that's because, I mean, yeah, I was mad, but it was a different type of mad. I'm like, oh, because I wasn't like asking you out and stuff. So like, yeah. And I really thought you was actually gonna do it. Like I really like oh after we did all those sex scenes, I was almost sure that you was gonna like really cuff me as your girlfriend. I'm like, okay. It's like, but when you didn't do it, it kind of surprised me. It like really shocked me because I was just like, okay, like I'm not your girl. Like you don't want me. Like what? And I started like looking at myself like, well, damn, I know I'm pretty. Like, I know I look good. Like, what the hell? I'm like, oh, so you started second guessing yourself. It's like, yeah, because I'm like, we did a lot of sex scenes, a lot of intimate stuff. I even gave you head, like in a lot of scenes in that movie. I definitely gave you a lot of head and stuff. I mean, you ate my pussy too, but what I'm saying is like, we did a lot of stuff. Well, and it wasn't no stunt devils. We did it. Like it was us. So I'm saying all the intimate stuff we did on camera, which was a lot. There was a lot of hours going into all that intimate shit. I would have thought that you would have like, yeah, I mean, I kind of want to test this shit out for real. So I just like, I was really surprised that you didn't say anything or try anything after we was like really finished the movie. I was really pissed off at you. I'm like, you was like, yeah, I was, but I'm like, well, I ain't a mind reader. I ain't know you wanted me. It's like, you didn't know. I'm like, I ain't no damn mind reader. So she's like, yeah, you right. You ain't no mind reader, but maybe I should have told you. I'm like, yeah, maybe you should have told me because you definitely didn't. So me and Bella Thorne did have sex again, and she wanted to go out on a date, but I told her I had to go somewhere, which is I had to go see Jamie Lee Spears. Now, Jamie Lee Spears, I mean, I knew she liked me, so I kind of knew what I was kind of walking into when I came to see her. So I came to see her. She opened our hotel door, and she let me in. So she like, all right, David, you kind of got the idea I like you, right? So I don't really gotta like spare you with all that, with all the details. Like I like you, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, now, do you like find my sister attractive? I'm like, who, Britney Spears? She was like, yeah, Britney Spears. So I'm like, I mean, yeah, she's still pretty and stuff. She's like, yeah, cause she likes you. I'm like, Britney Spears like me? She never really gave me that indication that she was on my dick. She told me she liked you. So I'm like, she said that she liked me. She's like, yeah, that's what she said. So I'm like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I really didn't know that she was feeling me like that. It's like, I could tell, like all the times her laughing at your jokes, she don't laugh at a lot of people's jokes. So it really takes a lot for her to really like laugh and stuff. So the fact that she was laughing at all of your jokes and stuff, and she was definitely giving you the signs that she likes you. But then she actually told me. So I'm like, um, my thoughts about Britney Spears, like she a pretty ass white girl, don't get me wrong. I mean, for her age, and she is old. But I mean, it's like, would you fuck her? I'm like, Britney Spears, like, yeah, she was standing right here, and right now, just in your damn face. And it wasn't me, and it was her. And she was naked, half naked, with her panties on or whatever. Would you fuck her? I'm like, would I have sex with Britney Spears? Like, yeah, would you fuck her? I'm like, I mean, it's Britney Spears. Yeah, I probably would fuck her. I mean, like, it's Britney Spears. So she's like, okay, so you would fuck her. I'm like, I just said, yeah, I definitely would try that pussy out. See how it is. So it's like, she just kind of had a baby a few months ago. I'm like, yeah, I know that. So she's like, okay. I mean, look, at least you being honest. At least you being honest. And, Britney Spears is going to be on the set of 101, Zoe 101. She gonna be on set. So I'm just asking because I'm trying to ask you, can I be your girlfriend? I'm like, oh, you trying to ask me? It's like, yeah. So I'm like, so you gonna let me beat it up? It's like, I mean, yeah. I mean, you gonna be having sex with me in the show? So I'm like, yeah. It's like, and I'm so happy that this is gonna be like this is gonna be on Paramount. So I'm like, yeah, Paramount. I didn't think that they show sex scenes, but they actually, do show some sex scenes and stuff. She's like, yeah, they do. So I'm like, yeah, we can't put this on Nickelodeon. This is definitely not for kids. She's like, oh no, we can't even put this on Teen Nick. So I'm like, yeah, she's like, this is definitely some grown up shit. So I'm like, yeah, she's like, yeah, but so, I'm like telling her to come over. It's like, well, wait, you still ain't answer my question. I'm like, what was the question? It's like, I asked, could I be your girlfriend? So I'm like, are you serious? You really want to be my girl? She's like, yeah, I'm asking you, can I be your girl? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you can be my girlfriend. She's like, and so if Brittany asks you the same thing or asks you out on a date, are you going to tell her you already dating her little sister? I'm like, yeah, I mean, of course I am. She's like, okay. I'm like, because, I always had a crush on you. Ever since I looked at the show, Zoe 101, I always had a crush on you. She's like, so you used to like me? I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you was really pretty. She's like, hmm, okay, all right. Well, I mean, you have me. I'm sorry you couldn't get me when I was younger, but I mean, I'm here now. I'm like, so how old are you? It's like 33. So I'm like, okay. So we start kissing, and I'm like all over her. She bends over, I start beating it up or whatever like that. And I was turning it up though. I ain't gonna lie, I was turning her ass up. It was really good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, I mean, she wanted to have sex more than one time, and I was definitely down for that to have sex with her, more than one time. And then Britney Spears ends up calling up Jamie Lee Spears, right? And so she's like, "Hello." She's like, "What you doing?" She's like, I'm with David. We kind of like laying down looking at TV. She's like, "What do you mean laying down looking at TV? Like, what do you mean?" She's like, we just looking at TV laying down. She's like, "What? He's at your hotel? He's in your room?" She's like, "Yeah, the last time I checked, I mean, how else would we be laying down looking at TV? He would have to be in my room." So she was like, "Oh, okay, so he's in your room." She's like, "I think we just established that I'm in his room." You're like, "Yeah, I'm in his room." So she's like, "Okay, so Jamie, can you like wait, you got me on speakerphone?" She's like, "No, I don't have you on speakerphone, Brittany. What do you want?" So she's like, can you talk me up to David?" She's like, "Talk you up to David, but you're married." She's like, "You're married too?" She's like, "Okay, who said we were doing anything?" So she's like, "So you mean to tell me y'all two just laying down and not doing nothing?" She's like, "I didn't say we wasn't doing anything, but I'm just saying you're already assuming that we're doing stuff." So she's like, "So y'all didn't do anything?" She's like, "Well, I can't really indicate on that." She's like, "Okay, anyway, can you talk me up to David?" She's like, "What do you mean talk you up to David?" She's like, "You sure you don't got me on speakerphone? You sure he can't hear me?" She's like, "You're not on speakerphone, Brittany. If you was on speakerphone, you'll be echoing. You're not on speakerphone." Like, no, he's not listening. So she's like, "All right. Well, I mean, like, talk me up to him." It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, what? Say that you like him? It's like, you can tell him I like him. Look, ask him, can we go out on a date? I mean, he's already right there. Just ask him. So she's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." She's like, "Why? Why, Jamie? Just ask him to take me out." So she's like, "Look, if you really want to date him, ask him yourself. Look, I gotta go." So she hang up the phone. She's like, "David, when my sister asks you, can y'all go out on a date? You gonna tell her no, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, you my girl, right?" It's like, "Yeah, I mean, you don't have to tell her that we're dating, because I gotta be real. My sister is a very jealous girl." I'm like, "She is?" Like, "Yeah." So it doesn't take her to get like it don't take her long to get jealous or angry about something. So if she finds out that we're dating or that I'm your girl and we're having sex and stuff, she'll be petty. She'll probably tell my husband, or I'm pretty sure she would do that. Like, I wouldn't put it past her to not tell my husband. But she'll tell my husband, and then she'll quit the damn show. I'm like, she'll do all that. It's like, yeah, because if she don't, she's the type of girl that want things her way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she don't have things her way, and if it doesn't go accordingly the way she want it to go, she definitely will fucking walk. Like, I didn't seen her do it before. I don't know if she's still that way. I'm pretty sure she fucking is, but she probably a lot damn worser because she got a lot more money now. I'm like, "She actually got money?" She's like, "Yeah, she got money." Brittany, like, her music is always gonna sell. Her old music, all that shit, she's still making money off that stuff. Now she got it where she is making her own money now. Like, she can touch her own money now. Cause back then she couldn't touch her own money because I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of money hungry family members like leeching off of her success and her fame and stuff and just spending her money up. And I get, she was really tired of people using her. She wanted her fucking money. She wanted her shit. So I totally get it. I totally get why she was fighting for, her freedom and stuff like that, And, yeah, it was a lot of people using her. And I will agree to that. I will definitely agree that it was a lot of people definitely leeching off of my sister's success and stuff like that. Which is why she doesn't trust everybody. Like, she's not you can't get her to trust everybody. Like, she's not gonna like everybody. So I'm like, yeah, I get what you said. She's like, so it takes her a very long time to like warm up to a certain person or to even talk to you. So the fact that she was just like, willingly to come out and meet you and all this stuff, that says a lot about your character. Like, she must really like you. So I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, so when you talk to my sister, I just want you to be like gentle with her. Like, don't just come out and just be like, oh, I'm dating your sister. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, she'll be petty and she'll tell my husband, and it'll just be a big ass mess. You know, it just be really big. And I really like you, and I want to like keep dating you and stuff. So, yeah. I'm like, you gonna let me beat it up on set? She's like, I mean, yeah, of course. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, only thing I'm worried about is that you're not using a condom. So it's like, what if I get pregnant? I'm like, you mean like if I knock you up? It's like, yeah, what if you get me pregnant? I'm like, oh, you're afraid about that. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually am afraid about that shit. I'm like, yours like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I am because I am actually fucking married and you are too, to like Miley Cyrus and shit. So I am kind of afraid of that. Like, I'm afraid. I am kind of afraid that you would get me pregnant. I'm like, would you keep the baby? Would you even tell me? It's like, yeah, I would tell you. Of course I would. But I mean, like, I would definitely have to leave my husband. Because if I get pregnant, there's no way that he's going to want to be with me because he's going to know it's somebody else's. So it's like, especially if we're not having sex like that, he's definitely going to like catch on. So I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah. So like, I'm gonna have to leave him. You know, it's gonna be like a no-brainer, and we're gonna break up, like get a divorce. And I know that my oldest daughter is not gonna like it and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna have to happen. Cause I'm gonna have to tell him the truth that me and you been hooking up, and you got me pregnant. You wasn't strapping the hell up, and you was definitely coming inside of me, which you did a few times just now. So I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, I'm just throwing it all out there. I'm like, you were. It's like, yeah, I'm just throwing it all out there. I'm like, okay. She's like, it's no damn She's like, it's no damn theories. Like, you're in there. I'm like, oh, I am. It's like, yeah, you're definitely, you're like, you're in there. So I'm like, I'm in there. It's like, yes, you are. You are definitely in there. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, me and Jamie Lee Spears are a thing. Like, I do really like Jamie Lee Spears, and I think, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think Jamie Lee Spears is a very sweet girl and everything like that. Like, I always had a crush on Jamie Lee Spears. Like, I really did. So I went back to Miss Wynn, and she was just, on my mind. I just wanted to go see her and stuff. She opened the door. She's like, "Hey, David, did you get all those pictures and stuff? I sent you a video too. Did you get it?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I know you got it. You liked it, didn't you? All that shaking I was doing." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, I'm like, "I would have thought you would, be married and stuff." She's like, "I'm not married." Nope. I mean, I was talking to that one boy, but I broke it off with him. I'm like, I really like you. It's like, I like you too. I'm like, what if I get you pregnant? It's like, what, before we start filming? I'm like, yeah, it's like, but David, I really want to do this movie with you. I'm like, we're going to do it. I mean, if I knock you up and we find out early, that means we just got to, start filming the movie early. The movie is already written out. The script is already done, so we don't have to write it or nothing. Like, we good. She's like, all right, David. Okay. I'm like, you should like, I mean, I am your girlfriend, so if you knock me out, then okay. I'm like, so you gonna have my baby? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have your baby. I'm like, she like, I think that you want to, I can tell, like, you got this look in your face like you want to get me pregnant. This it's a look. I can't really explain this look, but it's a look like, yeah, I want to knock her up. Like, I want to get her ass pregnant. I'm like, yeah, I definitely do. It's like, okay. All right, well, I mean, if you get me pregnant, like, you do realize there's no turning back when that happens, right? I'm like, what if I get you pregnant? It's like, yeah, if you get me pregnant, you do realize there's no, like, there's no turning back. You do realize that, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm just letting you know. I'm hypothetically speaking, just letting you know, just throwing it all out there, sir. So I'm like, okay. So we ended up having sex again. I tore her ass up. Not gonna lie, tore it up. Definitely tore that ass up. So then she got on her OnlyFans and she let me fuck her on her OnlyFans account. She let me tear her ass up on there too. And I mean, I tore her ass up, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. So she was like, David, I just wanted, the reason why I wanted you to fuck me on there, and I know you wanted to do it on your camera, but I wanted you to do it on my OnlyFans account because, and I'll send you the video. I can send you the like link in the video so you can see it. I'm like, oh, you can do that. It's like, yeah. Do you want the link or you want the actual video? I'm like, the actual video. It's like, I mean, I can send it, but it's a little long because you was fucking me for over an hour. I'm like, yeah, it's like, okay. So I wanted you to do that because I wanted people to see who my man is, who I'm in a relationship with, and you're my boyfriend. So I know you're a big ass celebrity, but I mean, there was a lot of people watching. I'm like, and it was like, I mean, like a lot of people. So I'm like, yeah, it's like, I never had that many people like tuning in to something like that before, but I guess because I never really post content like that on my account like that. So them seeing it, I guess it kind of surprised them to see me having a video of me getting fucked. I'm like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. It's like, yeah. So I guess that surprised them. I'm like, you think so? It's like, yeah, I think it did. I mean, it would have surprised me too. I mean, So I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, but my mom, I don't have to worry about my mom looking at it and stuff because she don't have that. Like a lot of my family members, they don't really have they don't have OnlyFans account. They don't have that. So I don't got to worry about them like tuning in or looking at it and stuff. So I'm good at that. Like I'm good. I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, like my mom don't even know what a fucking OnlyFans account is. Like she doesn't really know what that shit is. So I'm like, she like, no. Like my mom is foreign to like the internet. Like she knows about it, but she's not really like on there like a lot. So she doesn't really know about too many sites and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying. She's like, yeah. So it's like, yeah, my mom knows about the internet, like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Twitter. She knows about the basic, even Facebook. She knows about that stuff, but she doesn't know about like OnlyFans and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, I get what you're saying. She's like, yeah, she has no fucking idea about the other stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't want her to know about OnlyFans. Cause the day that my mother finds out about a fucking OnlyFans and she actually finds my account, I'm literally canceling my subscription. I'm like, yours like, I'm just gonna get off that shit. Because number one, why the fuck do my mother got an OnlyFans account? Why is she What is she doing on this shit? Like, what the fuck? She didn't found this shit, but why is she on it? That is my question to her. What are you doing on there? It ain't to spy on me. It would have to be for you to post videos your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that would be fucking weird. So I definitely would cancel my subscription. The day that my mom gets on that shit and finds my account and I see that it's her, I'm definitely getting the fuck off. And not everybody can log into my account. So it's like only certain people can actually see my videos and stuff. Not like the whole world can't really see my shit unless I want them to. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah. So it's like not everybody can see that video that we just did, even though a lot of people seen it, but not the whole entire world saw it. Just, you know, only people that I really wanted to see it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, we did end up, having sex and, cutting up and stuff like that. And after we was done, she was just like, David, I just want to be honest with you that I wanted to do this movie. And like, I know, like, I can feel that she's like, I'm probably going to end up pregnant. And that's not going to be what I'm searching for. Like, I'm not like in my head, like, oh, get me pregnant, you know. But I do know that it's gonna happen. Like I do know that it's gonna happen. Like I'm like, so you know. So like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I know it's gonna happen. Like eventually, I know. I don't know how soon, but I definitely know it's gonna happen because I really do like you, and it takes two to really make a fucking baby. So I'm like, okay, it's like and it's like, can I say this to you, David? I'm like, yeah, it's like, I played on the Bernie Mac show as one of the like little nieces of Bernie Mac. I'm like, yeah, it's like, so people do not like let shit go. You know what I'm saying? Because when somebody look at you as a kid, they always think of you as that little kid. Like that's what they always like see you as. So it's like when they look at me, they like, oh, that's so and so from the Bernie Mac show. I can't believe she got an OnlyFans account. And it's like, so I can't grow up and I can't show my body. Like I'm not a fucking Disney star girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why can't I show my body? Because what, you still see me as a little kid? Like I'm not on that show no more. It's been decades since I've been on that fucking show. And I'm a grown ass fucking woman. So it's like, so now I can't show my body. I can't show my thighs. And oh, I'm just this horrible person because I show my body. Like, I just don't fucking get it. So I'm like, I get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like, so what? I can't get dick. I can't suck dick. Like, what? So this is how you see me. You still see me as this little girl that plays on and I feel bad for like the Disney Star girls. I feel bad for them. I'm like, just like, yeah, because they always gonna look at them as the Disney Star girls. They always, it don't matter how big you get, they're still gonna look at you as that Disney Star girl. It don't matter how huge you get. That's why a lot of these Disney Star girls, they break out of that shell by like taking like half naked photos and shit and just doing shit to break out of that Disney shell. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people see them as. And it really can fuck a person up because if you see them as this perfect girl, you got to realize that they're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like not everybody's fucking perfect. You gotta understand that shit. Not everybody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at your wife, Jenna Ortega. Like, she's your wife, but they didn't think she was gonna have no kids. They didn't think anything. But look at her. She having kids. She's married, and you then got her pregnant again. So what I'm saying is like, you don't know what a person is. You don't know what they're thinking in their minds. You're not that person. So it's like you're going off of what you see on TV. It's a fucking character. Just you don't buy into that character. I feel like everybody buys into people characters and they label them as that even as this fucking celebrity gets older and become not a fucking little girl anymore. Like I haven't been on that show in so fucking long, and that's all I've been getting is people sending me all this hate, talking about you. I can't believe that you're showing your body. You used to play on the Bernie Mac show. I just can't believe you would do that to yourself. How could you downgrade yourself like that? Like, what the hell are you talking about? And then, oh, everybody needs money now too. I guess you didn't get enough money from the Bernie Mac show. Now you gotta start showing your body to get paid. So it's like, so I just can't have fun on the fucking thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, everybody is always so fucking mean. It's like, people are just too fucking mean online. Like, I'm like, but the reason why they are mean is because their minds is fucked up. Their minds are not right. They don't have good spirit about themselves. So it's like when you living in a fucked up situation, people do things to make themselves feel good. So what makes people feel good? Talking bad about celebrities, making them feel insecure about themselves. These people that do that shit, they know that they don't feel good about themselves. So when they online typing shit, lots of times they don't even mean that shit. They just doing that shit to get a rise out of people. You know what I'm saying? To make a celebrity feel a certain way about themselves. You see what I'm saying? To make you respond to the shit. Then when you respond to it, then they be like, oh, she responded to my comment. Oh, I feel famous now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, people do things for attention. Everybody want clout. So if it's no more than telling a person, oh, why are you so fat? Why are you doing this? You're like, ew, you're a slut now. If it's no more than doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's all to get attention. Everything people do is to get attention. So if you give them the power and the keys to that success, if you acknowledge that shit, then guess what? You're just gonna make them famous. But if you don't acknowledge it and you don't pay no attention, they're eventually gonna leave your ass alone. If you don't acknowledge it and you just like not paying no attention and not addressing the shit, it's nothing they can really do. They're like, damn, well, ain't nothing I can say that can get this person out their character. Because they can't get me out my character. It don't matter what people say. And people say a lot of shit about me. And I just let it just go ahead. It's like, how do you not say shit? Like, I'm always wondering, like, how, I mean, I never understood how you can just not pay attention to what people say to you. I really find that fucking intriguing. I'm like, you do? It's like, yeah. So, out of the blue, I just started, like, I grabbed her and set her down on my dick and we just started having sex or whatever. It was out of the blue as we were talking. I just wanted to have sex with her, so I grabbed her. And next thing you know, we like, yeah, basically having sex. So I do get what she's saying though. She just can't believe that everybody's still labeling her as this Bernie Mac character, you know, that she played in, you know, years ago. And I do get what they be saying, you know, why they always labeling people, especially girls. When a girl play on a kid's show and it's a hit show, they always gonna label them as that for the rest of their fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Even as they get older, even as they show their damn body more. You know what I'm saying? Why are you showing your body? You used to play on this show. You better stop. Everybody that be looking at kid actors and you see them get older and they start acting like jackasses or mean and stuff, and you be bringing they don't care about that show. They haven't played in that show in years. Why are you still holding on to that? That's a character. You know what I'm saying? You cannot keep holding on to a fucking character. You know what I'm saying? That's not really that person. You know what I'm saying? So you understand they getting paid to do a job. And obviously they did it well if they sold your ass that's